Matt Walsh's latest documentary, Am I Racist? A comedy to DEI for. That's legitimately a really funny pun. Now, longtime viewers of this channel will probably notice something, and that's that I'm kind of breaking my own rule here. If you've seen some of my videos, you know that I've said that I would not review documentaries for a few reasons. One, my forte has always been reviewing fictional films. That's what I've always done, and it's really what I always plan to do. I never really planned to review documentaries when doing this channel. Which is why I didn't review stuff like Matt Walsh's What is a Woman, or all these other ones that the Daily Wire's made for the past few years. I didn't review them because I had long said that I wouldn't review documentaries, even though I have reviewed most of the Daily Wire's fictional films. I didn't review Run, Hide, Fight because that came out a couple years before I started this. But I've reviewed all their other ones, and I've usually liked them quite a bit. But I'm making an exception with this one, because all of the mainstream critics are absolutely terrified to review this film. And we all know why. Because this film isn't scripting people to this isn't like Lady Ballers, let's put it that way, because this is a straight up documentary. This is real footage of real people saying and doing all this stuff, and it's not like they're at gunpoint or anything. They're just saying and doing all this stupid stuff while Walsh is in disguise. And them not being able to tell it's Walsh through this disguise already has me rethinking complaining about Superman's glasses thing. Because that's something I've never really found to be, I've always found that to be kind of dumb, but I might have to rethink that now. But either way, all the other ones, plenty of people reviewed What is a Woman, or, what was that one that Candace Owens did? Convicting a Murderer, or something like that. Plenty of people reviewed those, so I didn't really feel the need to. This one, other than Jeremy Jahns, who I will give credit, had the balls to review it when nobody else would, and not only that, he actually ended up enjoying it, which I was shocked to see. I give him immense credit for having the balls to review it when no one else will. Hell, there are people in theaters trying to find ways to shut the movie down, trying to get it removed from theaters, and trying to make sure as few people as possible see the film. So I decided to review it myself. Will this video boost its box office? Not at all. But I don't really care. That's not why I'm doing this. And speaking of box office, I do have to point out that this came in the top 5. And being out of like 1,500 theaters at most, I don't even remember what it was, but it didn't break 2,000 theaters. Being in 4th at the box office is pretty damn impressive. I think the top 3 were the Beetlejuice sequel, Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously, and was it Reagan, or was Reagan in 5th? I don't know, but it came in 4th for the weekend box office, which is really impressive for a documentary in and of itself, but for something like this, which is as controversial as it is, pretty damn impressive. Now, you may have noticed that up to this point, I haven't really talked about the film, because you guys know what the film is. If you've seen this is the same thing I said about the Reagan movie, even though that one was a biopic and this one is a documentary. It's kind of the same situation, because again, if you've seen all of if you follow like the Daily Wire's like posts on social media and everything, you've kind of seen the movie. You know what the movie's all about and what he's doing and how he's doing it. It's all like that. He's exposing DEI experts, which if you don't know what that is, if you've been living under a rock for the past year or so, it's diversity, equity, and inclusion. Or equality, I think it's equity. And I know some people are going to tell me this because I haven't mentioned it, because I didn't say anything about it, but I'll bring it up now, is that some people are going to bring up the dumbass thing that happened at the Emmys where John Leguizamo, who's one of the stupidest people in Hollywood, tried to redefine what DEI means, and it was one of the cringiest fucking things ever. Because I did see that clip. I don't watch the Emmys because I have a life. I don't watch those stupid award shows. And especially, I don't care about the TV shows anymore because those are some of the worst. It's just like, the problem with those award shows is that they're just popularity contests. It's the same thing with the awards for anything else, like the NFL. It's like, really? They're all just popularity contests, so why the fuck should I give a damn about these dumbass award shows. Nothing I like is ever gonna get nominated for anything. I guarantee you that for the Oscars this year, Deadpool and Wolverine will get one nomination. It'll maybe be for visual effects, or it'll be for like sound design or editing or something like that. It'll get one nomination and will not win, by the way. Because that's basically the extent of the movies I like that ends up happening at those award shows. One movie gets nominated in one category and loses to something that has no right to win it. But I'm getting way off topic. So, back to what I was talking about is, I was going to say the plot, but there's not a plot to this. Again, it's basically Walsh exposing the DEI experts. Basically, he's exposing why DEI hires are so fucking useless. Because because they are not hired for skill. I remember, I don't remember who posted it, but there was a post of like, can you name one thing that's more important than diversity? And then James Woods, one of my favorite actors, he literally just responded, ability. And that's kind of what Walsh is exposing throughout this film in a very funny way. Movies like this show that the funniest comedy comes from reality. It is not possible to write something funnier than reality. Just like nothing, you will never find anything in a movie as weird as what you will see in real life. Because this one, because that's why this movie is so funny. And I think that's why other people found this movie so funny and why people are afraid to review it. Is because if they say, oh, this movie isn't funny, if they try to tank the movie, they're not going to be able to, because there's nothing to defend here with the DEI experts of him exposing them, because none of this is scripted. Again, this isn't like Lady Ballers, where they bitched about how homophobic and transphobic it was. You can't do that here because these are real-life people being exposed for the inept fucks that they are. This isn't someone putting a gun to their head and forcing them to say this. This isn't some actor being paid to read lines that somebody wrote. These are real people who were caught on camera saying and doing this stupid shit. And that's why this movie is really funny. Again, this is a movie where the comedy just writes itself, because it's embarrassing watching these DEI hires just expose themselves for the just inept idiots that they are. All they're hired to do, they're not hired for their ability. They are hired to bitch about race and about gender and all this other crap that they've been trying to bitch about for the last few years. I don't remember who made this post, but somebody did. It was that all these DEI experts, basically their entire job is to make sure racism stays in the mainstream. Because that's all they have. I think it was actually Jeremy Jahns who actually said that it's like these experts are entirely focused on race because that's all they know and they found something to monetize, so they want to perpetuate it as much as possible. That's not the exact quote that he said, but it's basically the same thing, and he's absolutely right. Again, there's no point in actually going a breakdown of what it is, because I basically just explained the entire movie to you right there. And that's all you need to know. And I really enjoy this type of stuff. It's really fun. And I always love seeing the Instagram posts by people just exposing these idiots for what they are. They're useless, inept DEI hires. That's all they are, and that's exactly what he exposes in this documentary. So it works. I'm not going to score it, but I definitely give this a recommendation. So that's all I got, and I'll see you next time. Bye.